We were in a store, and a guy in that store told us to put our uniforms on. What the hell are you talking about? He says, the USA is in a war with Japan. We couldn't believe it.
Well, our country was attacked. It's different. It wasn't like Korea or Vietnam. We was attacked. And, you know, it was a feeling that maybe we're just dumb country people, but where I come from, but a lot of us volunteered.
Who would like to volunteer for the Tank Corps? Who would like to volunteer for the Air Force? Who would like to volunteer for Navy or whatever? And then they said, who would like to volunteer for the Airborne? So we said, what the hell is the Airborne? Nobody ever heard of it.
We came from a small town, and 3 fellows in that town that were 4F committed suicide because they couldn't go at different time.
I did things. I didn't do them for medals. I didn't do them for accolades. I did them because it's what had to be done.
The guy said, well, you jump out of airplanes. You know, you got all your Army equipment, and you jump out of airplanes to fight the enemy. They said, go to hell. Nobody put up their hands. And then, I don't know what it was, brought it up, but the guy giving the speech was saying, but you get paid $50 a month more. So that made it $100.
Standing in the door, I could see the lights on the drop zone. And I had to assume that was our drop zone, way ahead of us. And so that we had the red light, had everybody standing up, ready to jump. So when the plane started to get hit, and suddenly the pilot gives me the green light, I'm out the door immediately.
Got such an opening blast from the opening shot from the prop blast that it broke this chin strap that we had on this helmet liner, and that's when I lost this famous leg bag that everybody talks about just from the shock of the opening. It just flew right off my foot.
We came from the sky, we hit, and in any direction you went, there would be enemy. You knew it. And that was all part of what you accepted.
How do you prepare yourself? Mentally, each man must do that himself. Each man must prepare himself mentally to make that jump.
In the back of your mind, you wonder what's going to happen and all that. You know, you've been trained and trained and trained, and what your job is going to be, and what you're supposed to do, and that's what you got to think about. You know, and we lost a lot of people that night. But you try to put it all on your mind.
In 1941, we were called in by a local church. The local priest told us that our country was in desperate need for men. The United States was in war with Japan. We were willing to defeat the devil himself. Hitler, who held Europe in a stranglehold, was the devil, and we were the warriors who would defeat him. We didn't think most of it back then. That was before training at Camp Beta. At camp, the motivation and bond between the pals grew immensely. We were individuals and became dependent on each other. Everyone watched himself and his platoon. Everyone would take care and responsibility for each other. We became brothers. We were airborne.
Ladies all across the world, listen up, we're looking for recruits. If you're with me, let me see your hands, stand up and salute. Get your killer heroes, speakers, pumps, all lace up your boots. Representing all the women, salute. So ladies all across the world, listen up, we're looking for recruits. If you're with me, let me see your hands, stand up and salute. Get your killer heroes, speakers, pumps, all lace up your boots. Representing all the women, salute, salute. It's who we are, we don't need no camouflage. Just a female. If you're with me, women, let me hear you say. Ladies all across the world. think we're just pretty